here, you can stay there. It's your call, man. It's your gig, babe. Mr. Houston, ladies and gentlemen. I really didn't know this was going on until literally I was driving here and I got a text message from Lee Burke. And it was like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, what is he doing at the Roses So parents reunion? Seriously, I was packing the stuff up at the school coming. I don't have Facebooks. I'm not really good at the social gathering because there's a lot of people that know me that I don't know. I mean, seriously, not you cats here. I know all of you. I've got a whole life of stories I could tell on every one of you guys, from leaving you places and saying things to you and counseling you and being there for you and being there for me. And you know, CT's right. There's a lot of memories here. My young crowd down on the far end's like, he did all that?
Yeah.
And the old crowd's like, yeah, but I went a different direction. And that's what's kept me going as a teacher, guys. One, I've used the same mantra for years. I love teaching out of kids. And that's what I chose to do, and that's what it is. And you guys are part of that. And I only hope that even kicking the podium that day, that you understand that I was in it for you. I really wasn't in it for myself. I'm very competitive, no matter what it was. When I first came to Pikeville, band wasn't even in the schedule. And my whole motivation to stay at Pikeville was to go 1 year longer than Hillard Howard. That was it.
Yes! Yeah! Woo!
I will go 1 year past you. You never insert, and then that's the truth. I will. And I did. I went 1 or 2 more years past him. And so when I first came there, band wasn't in the schedule. I was given a tour of the building by Ann King and John Waddell, the superintendent, Tom Swartz, the principal. And they handed me a list of 30-plus kids and said, this is your band. I had 3 applications out at that time, one in Northern Kentucky, one at the new London school being built, and one at Pikeville. And Pikeville calls me first. And I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to come down here. I'd never been down here before, to my knowledge. But it turned out I had been. Miss Sherry Mars, Miss Sherry Miller, she had a copy of a Pikeville College yearbook from many years back. And I was playing lead alto in a jazz band on a gig for some kind of thing for Pikeville College. I was playing some kind of band. I don't know what the band was. She came in and showed me. So I've been here before, but I didn't realize, I didn't know. And so at the time, I said, I'll take the job. The sheet they gave me was the general music roster. I didn't have 36 kids in band. That year we marched 15 horns, 10 percussion, and 10 guards. And band didn't meet during school. Oh yeah, it's in the schedule, Mr. Houston. Everyone else in the high school was a 6th period day. Pikeville High School Band was a 7th period day. Is that correct, Robert?
Yes.
Tommy?
Yes.
We didn't even have band during school. I taught general music all day. And I want to tell you, that wasn't fun. And I was the type of person and believe in fairness. And so they made me start my day at 8 o'clock, but then I would have to go to 4 with my band students for the credit. So I'm like, why would I do this when I could just start at 9? And so I never came to school early. I never was on time because I had that resentment about the fact that I was being made to stay longer than everybody else. I finally got band in the schedule. Some of you parents might remember Suzanne Rasnick, the very first beginning of the site-based council. We had a band parents meeting, and we got Suzanne Rasnick in the site-based council as a band parent. And she encouraged Tom Swartz to put band in school. And I got 7th and 8th grade band during school. And that's what happened. That's what happened. And then not long after that, I was able to convince the program to go into a 7 through 12 band. The choir at that time, as most of you guys, some of you guys were in choir with me, like CT mentioned, it wasn't a class where it was what it is today. I found out real fast, all right, real fast, that if you want to make it good, You have to make it an audition group. And it wasn't at that time. Anybody who wanted to be in choir was, and the counselor took care of that for me. There was a lot of kids in that class that didn't really need to be in there. Seriously. But when they added piano accompaniment, Dina Gibson and Carolyn Diamond, and they brought them in, I took the choir back, and I've been working with that group now for 10 years. Miss Gibson is about 10. She's been my left and right arm. And so my journey has drifted and changed, and that's what I loved about my job. And that's what I love about every one of you guys, because every one of you are part of that. Yes, I was a competitive marching band fanatic. I was. We practiced every day till 7 o'clock in the evening. We worked on this and that and this and that. Yes, I wrote my own shows. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I would never take any of it back except for kicking that podium. We missed it by less than a point, and it was just the silly drops. And that right there was my turning point, like CT said, is because my passion has a tendency to take it one step farther than they really want to go. I can't want it more than the people I'm working with. And that's what happened with competitive marching band. When I first came to Pikeville, my budget for band was $12,000. That's what my budget was for Pikeville band. I spent $10,000 in marching band alone. Anyone who's done shows before knows what it costs to run a marching band. Hire a person for drill, hire a person for fundamentals, hire a person for guard, hire a person for percussion. If you're going to do a percussion piece, you've got to get someone to ride it. So I'd spend $10,000 in marching band alone. Most people didn't know that. Well, 3 years into the gig, maybe 4, John Waddell comes up to me, superintendent at the time, sits down to me. Man's never said 3 words to me since I've been there. Sits down and says, Mr. Houston, we got bad news. I said, what's up? He said, you've gone over your marching band budget. You've gone over your band budget. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, well, I've only spent $5,000 this year, cut back. He goes, you only started with $3,500. I didn't even know my budget had been cut by almost $7,000. And I'd already spent a big part of it. And that's when Kara came into place. Not Kara, but Kara. The change of funding bands were no longer given to the board. It was given to a group of people in the building that decides where the money's being spent. And they just felt that was too much for the band. And so, guys, I kept the marching band going for another 2 or 3, possibly 4 years. But it was killing us. Financially, we couldn't do it. We had to go and get tunes from marching show concepts. The drills, I mean, it was just costing so much. That's why I left the competitive marching band. But what CT forgot to mention about was there was something else that was coming just around the river. Just around the river band. It was the new auditorium. It was the new auditorium. And so I felt like if I'm going to leave competitive marching band, I'm going to put my emphasis here, and I'm going to start working with my advanced students and the students who really want to be taken to the next level in the orchestra. And that's what happened. CT brought up something about transfer students. Huh. Guys, when I first started there, I did private lessons after school, and I started working with some very gifted and talented students. Shasta, Kara, Mr. Moon. They came to Pikeville High School, and they would do their stuff for district and state, and they would practice, and I'd work with them on their music. Sometimes Mr. Moon would be there playing his trombone, and I'd fall asleep on the floor. And how'd that sound, Mr. House? And I'd say, I'll just do it again, Matt. Do it again. That's what it was. And so when you look back, I have no regrets of that, because my dream at Pikeville High School when I first came there was get out. I won't lie to you. I wasn't from the area, and I saw this administration wasn't going to support the program. But I didn't. I stayed. I stayed, and because the mountains reminded me of New York. It's an outstanding community, and there's very gifted, talented students. So I stayed with no regrets. Love every second of it. But my dream of Pikeville High School was making it into a magnet school. A magnet school for art people to come to. Band students, choir students, drama students. What you didn't realize, ET, is that I had 4 or 5 transferred from drama in the past 5 years because of our productions that we were doing. And so that's what I really wanted. I wanted to make Pikeville High School not just a sports place that recruited like Hiller did, but a place that offered an opportunity for advanced students, not just band in school. And so that's what my dream was. And I feel like over the years I was able to do a lot of that. I love teaching. I love kids. I'm going to miss it. Every one of you, members, leaving Tommy in Washington, D.C., all the guard work, Jonathan, all the work you did for me, Renee, Amanda, Sarah, all you guys. There's none of you guys here that I'll ever forget. I may forget your names because I'm not good at that. That's why I called you babe.
Yeah.
I'm not from here, but you guys have always. When my wife went through a horrific accident years back, the community came together and supported me and supported my wife. That's what I love about Eastern Kentucky, and that's why I stayed. And I'm glad I stayed. A lot of memories. The drama department seen some changes. Medina Salee. TT, were you with us into the Little Shop of Horrors? Or was that after you? Yeah. That was right there. Some of you guys were, Aaron, I know, was part of that. Some of you guys were part of that. Medina was in charge of it. She was the producer, and I was the music coordinator, and we started doing shows together. What you don't realize is that that show we did, Little Shop of Horrors, I had been watching in choir class. Over and over, we watched that. And what I was trying to find was somebody who could sing that stinking plant. That's what I was trying to find. And sure enough, we did. Who was it? Remember?
T.T.
Man, did she like absolutely drop that and just kick it right through the goalpost when she nailed that. I was like, hey, Medina, I found somebody. She goes, for the plant? I said, yeah. Who is he? I said, no. It's no cat. This is a chick. I think you'll really be impressed. She came and did the audition, and it was like, wow, we're doing the show. And she'd seen that show on Broadway years ago and wanted to do that show as an opener for that. And that's why we did that show. And so that relationship, Medina, stayed, and Ernie, and we built the program. I was the one who helped design the auditorium because I told Medina, if you want an orchestra, you got to build me an orchestra pit. And they're like, oh, it's definitely going to break OSHA's rules about depth of stage and all this. And I said, you want a live orchestra, Medina? She goes, yes. And sure enough, we put a live orchestra, and that's why the pit's there. They took some things when they had to cut back, but I was in that process with Ernie and Medina. And I'm very proud to say that that auditorium is state-of-the-art, not just because of me, but because of their hard work. But with that, I went that way. And then I realized real fast with our shows is that we needed singers. We needed singers that were going to do these musicals. And so that's when I really started pushing the choir with Miss Gibson's help. And we really started taking the choir up to the next level. Audition group, I had 3 choirs. It was remarkable. The band stayed about the same size, high 30s, 7 through 12. They were doing wonderful too. I was using my advanced students for the orchestra, and I ended up taking over the drama and musicals. Loved every second of it. All the way up to this past year, and then we started something different. I tell my young students, you can take the man out of drama, but you can't take the drama out of the man. And so they took the drama department away from me in musicals, and we started a show choir. And we took a show choir on the road to 6 different performances in elementary schools. It was remarkable. And so those guys have memories of trips and stuff that were just remarkable. They set the whole thing up, guys. They tore everything down. We went to different schools, 6 different elementary schools. We do 2 shows in one day. We did 3 one night when we did it for our own parents. And it was so successful Christmas time, we did it for springtime with a Disney show. And so I hope and pray with all of you guys that I set the best example for all of you. I always wanted that. Our counseling sessions, I recorded all of them, just to let you know. Once this night's over, I'm going to go ahead and start posting them on banddirectorsecrets.com. I have a whole memory of all of that. Robert Bailey back there has been one of my students who stayed with me the whole time. Literally stayed with me the whole time. I remember when Robert, we were talking about Mr. Houston's black phase and the dark. I still wear a lot of dark because it's slimming, by the way, CT. I need to. I didn't look. I'm just letting you know, babe. Robert was going through a water stage. Oh my God, the guy would drink a whole gallon of water before we would get on the bus. I'm like, we're going to have to stop, Robert. No, we'll be fine. No. I'm telling you, he literally had to blow up every time because we never stopped. I mean, he was like, well, you don't realize also with several of these students, I know Robert was part of it with us. I would take a group every week at the beginning of the year, Kara on Mondays, Sarah, to Moorhead. Yeah. It's because as a teacher, I felt like I could teach you a lot of things, but I couldn't teach you the things you needed to be an all-stater or top chair in district or to be successful. And so we would go, didn't we, Mr. Moon, on a trip to Moorhead. Why Mr. Moon so interested in this. He rode with me, and then when his band director refused to send him to the Moy Band Clinic, I sent him and Amanda Lane as one of my students illegally. I did. I did. They wouldn't take him. They wouldn't take him without the band director. I'm the band director, Matt Moon. I remember, I'm pretty sure it's either you or Amanda gets the shirt and goes, we're from Pikeville? Because they list the band that the kid's in, you know, the Pikeville Band, Belfry Band, you know? Nope. And so, I have fond memories. And I have no regrets. None. Some of you guys have been in touch with me. I've gotten letters from some of my former students letting me know what you're up to and stuff. I won't do Facebook. I won't, because like I said, you guys, you all know me. But somebody, you know, hey, I saw you at the basketball game 20 years ago. I don't know that cat. I don't know, and I can't carry on a conversation because I'm like, you remember me? And I'm like, ooh. You know, so I'm not a big Facebook person. So if you need to get a hold of me, you can always contact my wife or my son Marcus or Dave. They can let you know what we're doing. I am going to retire. I'm retiring for personal reasons, for medical reasons. I love teaching. I love kids. And I'm going to miss every second of this. And you know, if I'd known this was going on, I would have never came. You know?
Yes, we did.
Because it has never been about me. It has never been about me. It's been about all of you. All of you guys. From the students to the parents. From the ones who started with me in 90 to the ones who are leaving me in 2012. You're the reason why I do it. And I'm going to miss it immensely. And I only hope that the students that come up through Pikeville are able to work with someone who's going to continue this opportunity. Because that's all it is, guys. The most important word for all of us is time. It takes time, and we've got to make that sacrifice. And I willingly did it every day, and I do it again. But my days are over as a teacher. I'm stepping down. I'm filing for medical retirement, and so that's what's going on. I could go on forever because I love it so much. But I can tell you the one thing I didn't want to do was teach to the day I dropped. Because there's something else out there, and I want to experience that too. And that's my grandchildren, that's my sons. See, the one thing that people don't understand is that these three boys, Paul, David, and Marcus, have been with me. Paul transferred his junior-senior year. David transferred his junior-senior year. Marcus has been with me the whole time. And I did all that stuff, and they did it with me. And we have such books and books of photographs and memories of those wonderful events. Now, I'm not saying I did it for them, because I was in charge of all this stuff way before they ever came about. But I'm just glad that they experienced it with me. Trips, man, we've had some wonderful trips. New York, we've gone there. We just took a group of students to Cedar Point for the second time. Took 46 of them. How many am I supposed to take legally? 20. 20. The reason why is because you can only take 10 for each chaperone, and I'm the only one, so really 10. My wife down as a chaperone. Why would I even do that? It's because I trust those students, just like I trusted every one of you guys. Yes, we all have a history. We all make our bumps, and we all do our things that probably we learn from. Let's leave it at that. But you're all outstanding people. And I believed in you. And I still believe in you. And I just want you to know that. Every one of you. From my youngest way back there to my oldest in the middles and then the guys here. I've had an incredible time. And I have no regrets. I love teaching. I love kids. And I want to thank all of you guys for doing this. Mr. Tackett, Ms. Tackett, thank you for the concession stand. I can't thank you enough for that. Years after their children graduated.
That's right.
Dr. So, Jean and Lenore. Why did we go to Florida? Made a silly bet. They did. They're like, boy, marching band's not looking really good this year. It was early. It was early. I'll tell you what, Mr. Houston, if you guys qualify for state, we'll flip the bill for Florida. I'm going, deal. Hey, we went to Florida, all right? And that's what I loved about the job. Those moments just like that, spur of the moments where I'm like, yeah, we'll make that work, babes. And we did. Yes, I love competitive marching band. I love choir. I love teaching. A few other things. I started the all-county jazz band with Matt and that group. I started the all-district jazz band in our district. Rob James and I when I was doing my master's at Eastern Kentucky University, came up with the idea for the all-state jazz band. We had just finished playing West Side Story in Lexington. He's playing percussion, I'm playing saxophone next to Miles Oslin in the Lexington Philharmonic, remarkable group. And we're sitting around talking about all-state bands. And I just finished up in Northern Kentucky playing at a Geritol jazz band. That was what we call the band director's band at that time, Matt and Rob. The Geritol jazz band. We played at KMEA at a state convention. And I said, Rob, man, you guys need to do a jazz band for the college cats and do the same thing. And then get some of these band directors involved. And he goes, well, why don't we just do a high school jazz band? He's on the board. He'll recommend it. And I was like, oh, that sounds great. He goes, I'll do that, Dan, if you'll play lead alto in the collegiate jazz band. I said, I'm 30 years old, Rob. I'm not going to play with these little snot-nosed kids at a state convention next year. You know what happened?
You played.
I was playing.
Yeah.
My favorite things, soprano feature with the square cat. What's his name at Louisville? Tracy, Mike Tracy. Man, that guy's so square he could crap vanilla ice cream. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that cat. He's up there directing me as I'm taking a ride on My Funny Valentine. My favorite things, I think is what. Yeah, I'm like, wow. But that's what happened. The next year, we started an all-state jazz band, and we got students like Erica Hall in that all-state jazz band. We got Matt Moon in that all-state jazz band. And our district sponsored it. We are the ones who helped get it organized, and we did it. And that's one thing I'm very proud of. And so, accomplishments, you guys are my accomplishments. I appreciate you. I just want you to know that. But we've had one heck of a run. And like I said, if you want to do anything, make sure Pikeville continues supporting the arts. You guys are the alumni. You're the ones who can write the letter and say, listen, we need to continue this. We need to keep this moving forward. Because we don't understand, they don't understand the difference this all makes. And again, you know, it's going to be banddirectors.com, secret tape, something like that. I've got some stories on all of you guys. You may have one or two stories on me about kicking the podium. Listen, 22 years and that's the best he can do?
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, that's pretty damn good, guys. Right now.
Yeah.
Right now. That's pretty good. 22 years. That's not bad at all. I can tell stories on you guys that a few years back. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But those are the memories that I'll keep. So with all that said, thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate every one of you. I'm going to miss every one of you. From the parents who sacrificed and from the students who made the commitment to keep the arts and keep yourselves involved. Thank you very much. Thank you.